Well, hello there, nerds. This video will be a recap and review of the third episode in this final season of the Clone Wars, and it's called On the Wings of Kuradax. I'll start with a quick recap of the major events that took place in this episode, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, beware that there will be spoilers in this video. So I suggest going to watch the episode and then coming back to this video. After the recap, I'll give my opinion and thoughts on the episode, as well as some fun facts and maybe a few predictions of what I expect and hope will happen for the season going forward. Make sure you stay for the review, because that's where I'll be going into lots more detail about this episode. Okay, let's start with a quick recap. After freeing Ekko from the stasis chamber, Rex, Anakin, and the Bad Batch start fighting their way out of Wat Tambor's facility. While trying to escape, they get trapped by enemy forces on a ledge outside of the compound. To escape, Tech uses a recording to call some Kuradax, which are the flying reptiles that the Poltex have been seen riding on. The team flies back to the Poltex village, which then quickly becomes under attack by the claimed to be neutral Techno Union. Wat Tambor's droid forces start to destroy the village and kill the locals in search of his experiment, Ekko. Once again, we get to see the Bad Batch at work, and we even get to see Ekko getting back to his old ways and joining the fight. After a tiring and hard-fought battle with many casualties to the Poltex, the droid forces are forced to retreat. The Poltex inform Anakin that the Jedi will always have an ally on Skako Minor, and with that, the team, along with the hopeful Ekko, board their ship. Now that the recap is complete, let's move on to the fun stuff. And again, for the recap, I pretty much had a script, but for this review, I'm just going to be talking from the heart. I'm going to start by answering my own question that I had in the previous video, and that is about these new droids. So I wondered why they didn't just use normal battle droids in Wat Tambor's facility, and why they used these weird new bug-like droids, but that was answered in this episode, and that's because Wat Tambor and the Techno Union are saying that they're a neutral faction. So instead of using battle droids, which would show their allegiance to the Separatists, they use these different droids to try to pretend that they're neutral. I mean, we all know that they're not neutral, but I guess they can try. So once again, they bring back the recurring theme of Wrecker being afraid of heights. They do this while the team is climbing across the pipe, trying to escape the compound. And again, it shows the humanization of the clones. Along with this, I like how the Bad Batch, and in particular Hunter, they're there for him. I mean, they joke with him in high-pressure situations. Like, they make jokes about how he's afraid of heights. Hunter says a few times, "Do you need me to hold your hand?" kind of jokingly to him. But you can tell that they're there for him, and in this situation, when it's high pressure, it's do or die. They're there for him, they're trying to help him, and they're trying to keep him calm and collective so that they can get this mission over with and get it over with as fast as possible for Wrecker, so he doesn't have to be in that uncomfortable situation for him. I also just have to point out quickly that, like, these droids can fly. Like, what? I guess that's a thing that happens, and I mean, I'm totally okay with it, but I didn't see that coming. Okay, I guess it happens, but I digress. It really seems like Tech keeps the Bad Batch together. So the others, they kind of they fight, and they're really good at it, and they all have their own specialties, obviously, but Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair, they're just good at fighting in their own ways. Wrecker is strong, Crosshair is a deadly sniper, Hunter's really good at the close combat, and he's also good at tracking, but we didn't really get to see too much of that outside of the little bit in the first episode. But Tech just keeps coming. He's keeping everybody alive. He knew where to find, or he knew how to track Ekko. He was able to hack into the Separatist communication database in the first episode on an Axis. Here, he was able to get Ekko out of the stasis chamber. He was able to call the Kuradax so they could escape. And he's always recording everything, like you said there. So he's really keeping everyone alive. He's keeping everyone together. He's keeping the mission on track. So that's very good. He keeps getting them out of tough situations and problems that they can't fight their way out of. If they need to fight, the other guys are great at that, and Tech is good at that too. But the other guys can fight and fight and fight. But when fighting isn't going to cut it, Tech is always there, always has an answer, and he's always he's really helping progress everything, not letting them get stuck in one spot. I loved how even a hurt and scarred Ekko was getting involved in the fight. He is an ARC trooper and he's never going to back down from a fight, and they showed this. He's missing limbs. He's got robotic limbs, but when they're protecting the Poltex village, he's up there with Anakin and he's shooting, he's blasting, he's doing what he can, because he's not just going to sit there, lie down while everyone does the fighting. That's not how Ekko is. That's not how any clones are. So it was good to see that, because it would be so out of character if he wasn't fighting. So I loved, like, it wasn't much, but he was doing what he can, and that's very important. I loved the one-liner that Ekko gave Anakin when Anakin was about to take down the walker. He says, "Still showing off, I see," to which Anakin responds, "Oh, you know me, Ekko." It just brings it down to earth and shows how both sides are happy that Ekko is back and where he belongs. Ekko is happy to be back with his friends and his Jedi and his general, and Anakin and obviously Rex are happy to have him back. He was a part of the family, and he was gone. They thought he was dead, and everyone's just so happy that he is still alive and he's back with them. Times have changed, but it's nice to see a familiar face in this type of situation, or in any type of situation. But it's a great morale boost for everyone, I think. Right after that, we have a great moment where Wrecker throws Rex up onto the walker without any warning. Wrecker just grabs Rex and chucks him up on top of the droid. And Rex says, "Oh no, not again," which refers to when Anakin and Ahsoka threw him off a ledge in the earlier season of the Clone Wars. So it's just kind of little tidbits there I liked. Wrecker's plan worked, and it was effective, and it helped bring down the droid. But the little line there by Rex kind of, there's always little tidbits and Easter eggs here and there that help you remember older scenes or kind of tie it all together again, which I love. There was also a great hero moment for Wrecker as he saves a group of Poltex from being squashed by one of the legs on the walker. So that was, again, just a nice little scene. They all had their little scenes in there, but that was good for Wrecker. Just something to point out, something to note. It really took, he is the strength. He does have the strength, but it almost above what he could handle, but he was willing to sacrifice himself to help the villagers. I loved the ending interaction between the Poltex and Anakin. There's the nice, as I mentioned earlier, the nice little scene where the Poltex said, "You'll always have an ally in Skako Minor." So it kind of shows that the Jedi are doing good things in this time of war, and they're still making allies, and there are people out there who are willing to fight for the cause if they can see the harm it's doing. So that was nice. Even though the Poltex lost a lot of allies, they lost a lot of men in that fight, they're willing to do it again in helps of the Jedi and to stand up for what they believe is right along with the Jedi. So then there was the ending with Ekko, where they're right outside the ship and they're about to go, and he says, "Hopefully it'll go back to old times." So it's a bit sad because Ekko doesn't know that Fives is dead. I think that's going to play a big part in this next episode. If it doesn't, I'm going to be a bit disappointed, but I really believe it will, because it shows that Ekko wants it to go back to the way it was. There was the amazing music there at the end that really portrayed that. And so when he gets back, he's going to be excited to see Fives, because they're all brothers, but they were closer than most growing up together. Well, not growing up together, but they were together in Domino Squad. So it's going to be interesting there, because everything is not just the same as old times. The war is carried on. There have been lots of casualties. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I couldn't tell if it was sad or optimistic, the look in Ekko's eyes. Maybe a bit of both. You can tell he was happy and grateful to be back. He was optimistic for the future, but he's also scared because he's been away for so long. He doesn't know everything that's happened. He doesn't know about Fives. So it's all, to me, it's very interesting, and I'm wondering where it's going to go, but I think it's going to be very good. And I'm not scared of where it's going to go. I'm very hopeful and optimistic myself that I know it's going to go in the right place. I have full trust that it's going to be a very, very satisfying. But that's it. For my recap and review. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll continue to upload videos like this for the Clone Wars, as well as all future forms of Star Wars media, and you expect any form of Star Wars content to become present on this channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and may the Force be with you.